All right, we are live. Obviously, we have Chuck Johns with us this week. He's going to discuss some WSL. Um, so surprisingly, you guys were able to get your tournament in this weekend. You want to recap it for us a little bit?
Yeah, we were lucky. Mother Nature went pretty bad about 3 a.m. Saturday morning. But the groundskeeper crew did a great job, and we started at 3 p.m. Saturday afternoon. Played till about 1 a.m. Started back up 9 o'clock Sunday morning, got it all in. Grounds crew did great. All the teams, I thank you for hanging in there and playing. I only lost one team out of 41, so that makes it really good. The Tribe played really well. They won the E bracket. Natty Redlegs were second, and the Dayton Jets from Dayton finished third. In the rec division, we had Outcast from Crittenden, Kentucky. They won the rec division, and the boys they're from Erlanger, I think, won the. They were second. They were runner up. Co-ed was Sons of Pitches from Indianapolis, and Red Dragons from Cincy. Also, just a real quick, the women's, we offer women's every week. Been a lot of questions why we don't have it. Well, we offer it every week. Ladies, you got to get sanctioned. I'll have an event every week for E, D, and C in all my events. So does everyone else in WSL around here. Eddie and Armco also. Yeah, the weather wasn't great, but we got it in. The wind and the sun helped on Saturday for sure.
Did you have a bunch of wind in Cincy? I was in
Oh,
Columbus.
yeah, it was 45 miles an hour Saturday. It started about 10 o'clock, and it didn't stop till about 8:30.
Gotcha.
But it
Did
was
you
a bunch of wind.
did you want to talk about this game right here? This 45-24.
Yeah, we had a game, first game of the tournament, Smash Brothers and Mafia all day. Score was 45-24. 2.5 hour game. Thank God for the win. 42 walks. That's why
42 walks.
42 walks.
Shout out Casey Hits, that a boy.
Yeah. Yeah. I watched Kenny Ball throw a four seamer, thought it was going to make it, and it hit a foot in front of the plate. I went, picked up, and dropped it. Other than that, we had a lot of competitive games the whole tournament on both ends, rec and the men's Z, co-ed also. But that was the big game. That was the longest, 2.5 hours.
Yeah, Chuck, what do you think is the key to winning in the WSLE? You think it's home run management? Is it defense? So if you're going to build a team, what do you want to build your team based on in WSLE?
If you want to build your team WSLE, you have to catch it. You have to play really good defense, and you have to hit your 1 home run, 3-run or better, grand slam. If you hit a solo, chances are winning aren't very good. But for the Tribe, who won the spring state, hit 3 home runs the whole weekend in 5 games. But they have really good defense. They've got a good pitcher. I mean, he built his team the right way. The people he added gives him a chance. But if you're building, you got to be able to catch it.
Gotcha.
You got to play the game. You got to hit the backside with first and second. You know, people play 5-man. You all know that. You guys played long enough. They're playing 5-man. You got first and second. You got to hit it backside. You got to play the game the way it's supposed to be played. You know, you go up to second, 99% of the time you're getting double play.
Right. When we were playing WSL, we usually use the rule of thumb: if you hit your home run first, you're probably not going to win. So we tried to save it as long as we possibly could.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can go back a few years ago when I was the manager at Colping. I can remember it was all hustle and Buckeyes every weekend. 3 straight weekends, they swapped winners, and they all hit their home run. One of them hit it in the bottom of the 8th. The other 2 games were bottom of 7th. So, like you said, both they played good defense back then, and they saved their home run and used it when it counted.
Who is pitching for that team right now?
For the Tribe?
For the Tribe, yep. Sorry.
J.D. Williams.
J.D. Williams. Okay, yep. Yep. He's got an E World Ring WSL, if I remember correctly.
Yep, Stampede.
Yep. Okay.
Yep, same thing. I mean, it was the first year they finally took their whole team there, and they played really well. I can remember watching a game they were playing, losing in the 6th inning, still had their home run left. Hit a grand slam, scored 2 more runs after that, won the game 9-6.
I'm going to pull up your tournament schedule here real quick. You guys go ahead.
That was a good weekend for Stampede down there. I remember that vividly because I was extremely pissed off. We got kicked out of our house before the tournament even started down there in Panama that weekend. So that was not the best situation.
I remember that, but I do remember that. You know, softball, I have a good memory. Don't ask me what I did yesterday.
Right.
Gotcha. So coming up, well, you got the spring champ. Well, I know before that, I'll go to Kentucky.
Well, there's the Armco has the Memorial on the 8th.
Yeah, the 8th. Okay.
Bill Martz has the Ironman the 25th, I think.
22nd, 23rd, right there. Looks like. Yep.
And then we have the spring. We had the Midwest Spring National, the 29th and 30th. 90% of the time, if we need to play Sunday, we will. Co-ed is definitely on Sunday. And for you co-ed teams, I did give out rings this past weekend for the co-ed because I never have. But for the co-ed Spring National, I'm giving out custom rings. And I will actually take a picture of one and post it on Facebook later.
Gotcha.
So the men's is giving out cash, like always. And it's $1,200 now, I think, based on so many. And the more we get, every time we get an extra team over that, there'll be $100 added to that. And so much lower. So
we got the River City Shootout. After that, that's a Saturday only, if I remember correctly, because Mother's Day is on Sunday.
Correct. It's a week later this year because Mother's Day is a week later.
Okay.
Same thing. Co-ed is on Sunday, which I already have a few teams entered. And there's a few teams online entered for the River City also.
Gotcha.
Thank you. National right now we have 10 or 11 online. I'm not sure.
Okay. And then we got the Memorial. Is that Eddie's famous tournament up there in Dayton and Armco?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's Armco, Kettering, a few different places, and not like the 7-game guarantee or whatever. I think that's the Memorial.
Yeah, I know he always fills it up every year. It's supposed to be a great tournament. I've never had the pleasure to play in that, but heard great things.
Yeah, the Memorial's pretty good. So
then we got Southern State, which is requirement for World, correct?
Correct.
Yep.
So Chuck, what are the requirements to go to Panama?
You need to play in the state, and you need to play in the Midwest. We like you to play one more, but if you don't, I'm not going to ever tell a team they can't go if you play in those 2 events.
And Panama, is that is Frank Brown turf yet? Are they working on getting that done? Or
Frank Brown in 2024, the lower 4 fields will be turf.
Okay, so 1 more year.
Yes. They said infield and outfield. We'll see. Infields for sure we know of.
That new public stadium is, or not stadium, but the complex it's amazing. I was really impressed when I was down there last year.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great complex. Supposed to be adding a few more fields in a couple of years. So.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, knock the trees out and add a couple more fields.
Gotcha. And then after that, tell me if I need to go back and forth, but we got the Dayton Legends, which that'll be a Dayton/Armco tournament, I assume.
Correct.
Okay. And then your famous Midwest regionals.
Yes.
That's always a great one.
Yeah. And then Super State, my Super State got moved. I moved it to the week before the Metro because August 5th is when the Metro ends. So I thought it was better to move it this year.
Gotcha. So I know there was one more in Kentucky. Let me pull that up. Don't want to miss that.
State's in July.
Yep. Kentucky State.
Yep.
Now, I can't remember. Can you go back and forth? Can Ohio team play Kentucky State and Kentucky play Ohio?
If you do, you usually get double points, so it's kind of smart to do.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have a lot of his teams playing mine, and I have 7 or 8 to go playing this. I mean, it's a good thing. It's a good. I mean, I give away cash. I don't know what he gives away, but he yeah. I mean, I recommend you guys do if there's nothing going on playing it.
Chuck, how important do you think points are for WSL?
Well, it's a lot because Nathan gives a lot of money. Also, while I'm on here, since we're on Facebook, this will work because Bill Martz and I are also doing a local one that it might only be a couple $100, but it's better than nothing. We're putting, like I had a round robin last Thursday. I added $3 a team for the 8 men's teams. Past weekend was $5 a team for the men's teams. Not sure we're giving co-ed out yet, but we are adding our own. And at the end, we will get together. Whoever the top Kentucky and Ohio, will give them some travel money.
That's nice.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Nathan's giving out a pretty look thing. He had to explain it a little better this year than last year. A lot of teams were like, "Where's my 1,200?" Well, you're splitting that, but I think he's upping it a little bit to like $2,000 maybe. So
I will say that cash is real. You sent me a text one time and said, "Hey Zach, you got $250 or whatever it was," and I had no idea. So
and then I brought you to check, didn't I?
yeah, I believe you did.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so I didn't have to track you down. I didn't even know about it. You just got a hold of me and said, "Hey, here's some cash for travel," and I appreciate it. But yeah, it's real money. It's not fake. I know some people promise money, you never get it, but Chuck actually does hand out the money. I will confirm that.
Yeah, I handed out the day. You know, when you win with me that night, like I gave Brian got a kick out of this. He paid me Venmo, so I Venmoed him 400 and gave him 800 cash because he won. And then I handed Roy 700, Dayton Jets 400 cash. End of the tournament, you win. That's what I give you.
Yep.
I mean, cash helps. I mean, I know a lot of teams don't have sponsors. That money pays for 2 more tournaments, a couple more events.
Sure.
You know, and if you don't want to pay world berth out of it, I'll take care of that for you. So
I can confirm that as well. I will say WSL is probably my favorite world event. They do it right. They check the rosters, they check the bats. The facilities are nice. The brackets are laid out really well. As far as world tournament goes, I'd say WSL does it the best from what I've seen and what I've experienced.
Yeah, I agree. WSL is definitely my favorite world tournament. Just the facilities are nice. You're on the beach, but they do it the right way. Got to get rid of that free foul though, Chuck. Man, as a pitcher, I hate it.
you know, what's funny is that Saturday I didn't go on time limit. I took away the free foul, and everybody was happy because I didn't. It's a state tournament. I didn't want to go time limit.
Right.
And
Now, I'm pretty sure most people know the rules for WSL, but
we fight for it every winter meeting. But the owner says I have to be different. So I can't.
So,
what do you say?
I'm glad you.
Hopefully, he's seeing this and he hears this.
I'm glad you said you have to be different. So I know most people have probably played WSL, but why don't you explain some of the different rules in WSL versus U-Trip or GSL?
We don't have a hitter. We do have a free foul. We did change our runner rule this year, which I didn't agree with, but I was outvoted. It's common sense. If you run for the pitcher, same guy shouldn't. So now anybody on your roster can run for the pitcher or run for another person in any inning. But once that inning's over, they can do it again next. But if the pitcher comes up for the second time, you run again. Or if they bat someone down after the pitcher, same runner. And our pitching is 6 to 10 the first weekend in the world. Then we do 4 to 10 with faking the second weekend. And I've been state director 15 years. I've been to Panama every year. I watched the second weekend with the juking. Not a lot of juking, but they do keep it down. They keep it flatter.
Definitely a little flatter pitch the second weekend, but there's not a whole lot of dancing around on the mound.
No, and plus we don't. I mean, I know U-Trip went to the toe the rubber this year. We did not. We did not go to 240 bats. We're still at 220. So, and we're probably going to stay at 220 for a couple more years, is what I was told.
Nice.
I mean, I think it's for the players. A lot of players, I know Smash It had a big sale and guys were buying bats. You can only use them in leagues. 240, I get it. They are a little safer, some. But, I mean, I've seen a bunch of them, which Rhino, I tested them. I've seen a bunch almost fail out of the wrapper.
Right.
On all four sides. So, but that's our different rules. I mean, I always tell my teams, I want you to play both. And I tell my teams, I want you to go to Vieira once to see what it's like. Because I've been there. And very beautiful complex. But the wind blows there all the time.
Right, for sure.
So that's our different rules. I mean, I know this year, if you plan on going to World, you can enter your team now. You don't have to pay for it. But the reason is we're only taking 170 the first weekend and 225 the second weekend, because the 260 and it might be 250 the second weekend, because the 270 and 300 and not getting done to midnight. I guess the boss is kind of tired, but that's what he says. But I think he'll take them off. But that's his words, not mine.
It's going to be hard to pass up 450 a team.
Yeah. I mean, plus, we don't have a gate fee. That's big.
That's another reason why Panama, the Worlds are a little more expensive for a team, is because you eliminated the gate fee, correct?
Correct. We limited. Our World Bursts are about the same as the future GSLs. He eliminated the gate fee and raised it, I think, $10 was it total. Which, if you figure that your spectators, $10 a day, now there's no gate fee. So, and you figure you bring 10 players, 10 people come every day, it's $300.
Right.
You're there all 3 days. Now you pay nothing. You save that money. That money goes towards your house or to a rent-a-car or a dinner. Yeah, I asked him if we'd ever go back to gate fee. He said no.
That's a good thing. We had to pay $7 in Indy, and it had to be cash this weekend.
Wow.
$7 cash. Okay.
Zach, how much did you have to pay for your player card this year? I'm just curious.
I don't have to pay for one because I'm a manager, so I don't know what they are, 20, 25, something like that. You're talking about for One Nation?
Yeah, that's something we'll never go to either.
Yeah.
Our sanction fee would be $100 before we did that, and you'd still be saving money. But I understand what they got to do. It's all good. I mean, you have to do what you think's right. It's easier to contract players, but us checking rosters every time makes it easy with an ID. Sometimes the lines are a little long, but we get them knocked out. Testing bats, I think, is the key to the World Tournament with us. I mean, I test bats every weekend, every tournament. So, and I think that's why a lot of people play with me.
I agree. I'm definitely a fan of bat testing.
So. Yep. And just the roster thing's huge too. Just that way, the people on the other side of the field are legitimate.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, because like when I went to U-Trip Worlds, or you just had no idea, and then you would hear stories that these guys are playing B the following weekend, but they're just getting some games in this weekend, stuff like that. And WSL, to the best of your abilities, you make sure everybody playing is supposed to be there.
Right, and then if you win and plan on playing the second weekend, you automatically got to play up.
Yep.
So.
And that's another thing too we didn't even talk about. Is you can go down there and play 2 World Tournaments, within 10 days, which is a big bonus.
Nice vacation, and the beach is beautiful.
Yep. Okay.
Let me ask you this, Chuck. As far as World Tournament wise, because you've been down there for what you said, 15 years, correct? If you had to pick a state who has the strongest showing consistently down there to WSL, which state is it?
Well, let's see. I've been state director 15 years, and I've had 5 winners, maybe 6, just off the top of my head.
That's in the women's C, D,
My
and E, and rec, correct?
my women's team has won twice. I finished second 7 times. Stampede won. EOS won in the men's. Last year, Turn 2 won,
And Old Bag win one.
and Old Bag has won 2.
So Ohio usually has a pretty strong showing down there.
Yeah, I usually send about 38 to 40 teams every year. Alabama and Georgia are always there.
Now, are you guys? I know there were some states represented last year that were first timers. Are you guys expanding anywhere else this year?
Yes. We have somebody in Mexico now. So in New Mexico, yeah, we're expanding.
That's what I heard. That's a good thing.
Yeah, and we expanded the military. We have a new military director, which Vincent's from Alabama. He's great. He'll do well there. We have a new Native American director, which that will do great. That's the 4th weekend. We have 4 weekends in Panama now.
Okay.
Native American and the senior will be on the 4th weekend, I'm pretty sure, in Panama. Force can check. We have the men's 2 weeks in a row, then the co-ed, then the senior and the American tournament.
Senior, I'm assuming you mean 50 and over?
Correct. We may even have 40.
Gotcha.
So, and we talked about even doing 35.
Be some competitive 35 and over games if you do that for sure.
Oh, 100%. I believe that. And I think Ohio would do well.
I agree. As long as you got the right guy running it, according to Chuck Kinney.
Yeah. I saw him this weekend.
Nah, shout out to Chuck. I like Chuck. He's my boy. I like digging at him every once in a while.
Yeah, I like him too. He means well. But
Chuck, yeah.
What are you guys up to?
These young kids want to play every weekend, man. I don't know if I can hang with them. I'm old. I play 5 games and I can't get out of bed for the next 2 days.
Well, when I coached, I felt that way too because I never sat down and I always paced. So they play 7 games. I walk 7 games on Monday. I'm like, I feel like I played 7 games. I haven't played in 3 years.
Yeah, so the young boys I'm with, they're afraid of hitting inning home runs, man. And I try to explain to them that Panama is a completely different animal as far as home runs go. The ball just does not fly down there like it does up here in the cold.
No, they should try to play some D up here and see what happens with 3. Then you can gauge it on that. So you've played it long enough, Zach. You've been there. You know what it's like. I mean, the team that beat Zach and them last year, I still don't think that one ball ever landed.
No.
The guy hit it over the ball field it went over the batting cages, which was 400 feet. You know, that team would have won. They had an illegal player. We threw the player out of the tournament, not the team. Their coach had a wristband. He could have caught. They would have won easy. No one was going to beat that team. They were good.
Yeah, I think they got us by 2 or 3, but yeah, they were solid.
Yeah. Then after that, they started just rolling, hitting and run. Their middle infielder was really good.
Yeah, they had that left fielder that could barely walk. That's the guy that hit it over the batting cages, if I remember right.
Yeah, the lefty. He mashed.
He hit it. He couldn't move, but man, he could hit it.
Yep, he couldn't move, but he could hit. Yeah, but I've had luck. I mean, I've had some teams. I've always had teams finish well. I mean, last year in the E, you figure I had a winner and a runner-up. Had a runner-up in the rec. Mortland last year. MTS was second. I believe if we could have finished the weekend, we got all the rain first weekend. Not sure Turn 2 would have won it. They played well, but MTS was playing well. 6-Pack was playing real well. The Funk was playing well. Things could have turned out different. But kudos to Turn 2 for winning. They won the game 11-9. Great game.
Yeah, I know the 6-Pack was playing well down there. We were watching. There was a controversial call at the plate or something like that.
Yep, 100% there was. I've seen the video more than once.
Yeah, I'm sure you didn't get any phone calls about that.
No, a lot of people come and talk to me, but I get any phone calls. I got the video sent to me like 10 times, and so did Roger. I mean, there's nothing, these umpires work hard to get there. And Roger selects some from every state. And, I don't know who was on the game, but yeah, I really believe Six Pack could have came through the loser bracket. They were playing that well.
So yeah, why don't you think we see any Amish teams playing WSL?
Well, a couple of years ago in the Midwest, Palace did play. Lost the all bag twice in both one-run games. I don't know. I talked to the guy. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I mean, I don't mind them staying away from it. Believe me.
Oh yeah, I've watched them. They are fun to watch.
It's quite impressive what they're able to do week in and week out, and it doesn't matter what team it is. If they're Amish, they can play.
Yes. You figure what a couple of years ago, the team that won, the E team that won it all, won every world. They play without the two best players because the kids were only 17.
Jeez.
Because they weren't legal to play. Now they're playing and they're two studs. I mean, that's all they do. So, I mean, look at the conference team. They did well.
Yep, I've never seen a bad Amish team.
Me neither. Actually, Turn 2 had 2 Amish kids on their team. So
yeah. All righty.
Let
want to discuss, Chuck or Ryan, before we move on?
Let me give you this quick recap for who stood out at WSL this weekend.
Okay.
Maddie Redlegs finished second. Alex Lynn went 10 for 17. Dakota Hunley 13 for 20. Phil Blake's 12 for 18. Tristan Johnson 11 for 20. Ryan Chase 7 for 10. Ben Matthews 10 for 16. Roy said they used their home runs well. Used them in the 5th or 6th inning. Only 1 inning ending home run. Played solid D all day, but for whatever reason, did not hit against the Tribe at all. That probably could be because J.D. Williams was the tournament MVP, shut teams down. He also, let's see what he hit. I forgot to write it down, but yeah, it was something impressive, 15 for 19 or something like that.
Yeah,
and
he was 15 for 19.
Yeah, and then Gerald Burt was 12 for 16 with 1 home run. Brian Thaman was 10 for 15, 4 doubles, 2 home runs. Apparently, Corey Todd played with broken ribs all weekend, and he still went 9 for 13. Matt Hunt, 7 for 12. Great defense all weekend. Brian said they hit no inning-ending home runs. They only hit 3 in 5 games. So they started off slow. We're down 17-2 in the first game and came roaring back to win, looks like 30-20. So that's impressive. They run ruled the Redlegs twice, which is always hard to do. So I think they might be a force in the E, man.
I agree with you. They Redlegs are winning the first game 5-0 in the first game of the championship. So
it'll be fun when everybody starts playing in them big WSL events and to see. I think it's the same thing as U-Trip D. It's going to be wide open.
Yeah, the D is going to be really good because you got Zach's team, Red's team. You got Mo from Indiana. I think they're BTX still. They might be BTX something else, but that team came back. They're going to have a good D team. I just got a roster from a D team from Cleveland that's going to be pretty decent. So D is always competitive. I always think D is the best, is our strongest.
Right.
Above, I mean, anybody can beat anybody.
For sure.
I'm hoping Tripods come play some D and see what it's like.
I just hope they play some WSL. So.
I know you do. I appreciate that. Well, guys, I appreciate you having me on.
Thanks, Chuck.
Thanks for coming, man.
Thanks. See
Talk to you soon.
All right, see you, bud.
Okay, there we go.
Meat and potatoes, man. How was the MOJO?
It was like anything else, real windy, terrible, but good softball. Let me change my my window here. MOJO Moneyball. So I don't think we had anybody locally go real deep. I think we finished 9th. Yeah, we finished 9th. Went 4-2. think we're the C team that went the furthest. Let's check on the D real quick. Was there many D teams that went up there?
I know OTF was up there. I thought players were up there.
Okay.
Steve's, I thought, was up there.
They were.
I don't think they did well, but
No, yeah, I'm not seeing.
They made a big pickup this week. That'll help them tremendously.
Oh yeah, who's that?
They picked up Johnny Leap.
Oh, okay.
He must have won an appeal because I thought they were out of chips. So.
Yeah, that'll be a big one. I don't know if I recognize any team if there was one.
Yeah, I didn't recognize many E teams when I was trying to preview it.
Mm-hmm.
So who did the Frickers? Did they win the C?
Yeah.
They got Sorrel and Rusty and.
Yeah, I heard somebody say you better win the C if your shirt says Conference USSA on it.
That's a good point.
But they look fine. I mean, to me, they didn't look far and away better than everybody. They were really strong, but they were beatable from what I could see. But maybe I'm wrong.
You run into any Amish teams up there?
No, luckily we didn't. We played Crew's team with Chris Day if he's still on. I was giving him crap because he changed outfits every inning to play third base. So I don't know if he had like a box of clothes or what, but like one inning he was wearing like a jacket and pants. Next inning he was wearing like shorts and a t-shirt. Then he was wearing a coach's jacket, and then whatever else. So I was giving him hell. And then poor Seek got hit in the face. I don't know if you heard that. Did you hear that?
No.
I guess Hayslip was taking a dry cut and got him, split him open across the face. So hopefully he's doing all right.
Yeah, Hayslip don't swing easy, so that was probably disastrous.
It didn't look good. But yeah,
Crewy still coaching their Crocs, man.
Crewy?
Yeah, was he rocking the Crocs this weekend?
I think he was. They were kind of beat up going into it. Seek was out. Hector had to leave. One of their outfielders was hurt, and I think they might have been missing somebody else. So I think we got them 16-0. So they were kind of gassed and beat up at the point they got to us. So I only saw them through the handshake line, and that was about it. Well, yeah, it was 50 degrees, somehow blowing in from all sides of the outfield. I don't even know how that was, because you could see the flags. One was blowing one way, one was blowing a different way. Like I don't even know how that's possible, but it was terrible. Hopefully, I never play that again.
Did your pitchers do all right? Did they adjust?
Yeah, Doug killed it. Doug likes to throw a little bit lower and flatter, so I went with Doug most of the day. And I think he told me he gave up 14 runs on Saturday total.
Nice.
So he was on it. We run ruled, I think, 3 of the 4 teams, or maybe 4 of them. So we adjusted well. But yeah, a lot of good softball out there. I think that's pretty much.
Who'd you make as your hitter all weekend?
Who was my hitter? Lightsey.
Yeah, Lightsey. Okay.
It really didn't matter. I mean, wind is blowing 50 miles an hour. And so not many were going out, but I think he did hit a handful this weekend.
I saw one was posted on Facebook, so I didn't know whether he was the hitter or not.
Yep. And then I think Bellamy's team won the major.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he was obviously supposed to come on, and he bailed on us. But yeah, he was playing first. I think that's the first time I've ever seen that.
Yeah, I've never seen him play first base. I'm sure he can do it. He's an athlete, but
yeah. So I saw Josh Riley put it over the shed. So you got the 400-foot field or whatever it is. I think it's probably it goes from 315 to 380 or whatever it does. And then there's the road, and then there's a shed. And the wind was blowing out, but I saw him hit it over that freaking shed across the street, which that was impressive.
Who won the home run derby Friday night?
I don't know for sure. I heard rumors it was a guy on the C team.
Okay. And I saw some guy from the Savannah Bananas, or former player from the Bananas, was up there playing softball with somebody.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
I think he was in the home run derby. I thought I saw somebody post that, but I could be totally wrong.
Could be. Don't know. But yeah, it was cold and wet or windy or all of them. So.
Yeah, it was the same way in Indy, man. It was the windiest conditions I've ever played in.
Let's see. I'm gonna pull up your bracket here in a second. Come on. Okay. There we go. All right. What do you so this is the one where you said you guys scored 46 runs.
Yeah, man, we came out on fire, 46 the first game, and then forgot that we had a second one. Got donutted the second game. It was quite impressive.
So what do you think happened there?
I think we got really excited about scoring 46 runs and thought it was just going to continue by walking into the box.
Yeah, I've seen that happen before where you put up a bunch and the next game you don't put up any, and I can never explain it.
Yeah, I mean, it was we had to switch fields. I mean, obviously the team that we were playing against was a little better than the first team, but we swung at bad pitches. It was like we were giving ourselves up.
Oh, I apologize. Curry's team got one off of us. Yeah, so how was the complex up there?
Complex is really nice. They did a good job. It's all turf infields. The grass is still there, but yeah, all the rain they got in Indy the 2 days prior to that played no effect at all. If it wasn't windy, it would have been just like playing a Burliner.
Are they all turf or is it turf infield, grass outfield?
Turf infield, grass outfield.
Okay. And it still wasn't too bad?
No, not at all. Yeah, I didn't hear none of our outfitters complain they were standing in water or anything like that. So, and it absolutely poured Friday night.
All right. So it looks like you played Springfield Havoc next, beat them 13-8, and then you lost 30-28 to JBL or JB3.
Yeah, they I don't know where they're from. They had a pretty decent team. I mean, on that field, the wind was blowing out. You get 3 home runs and a hitter, you're going to score a lot of runs. K&P was up there. They actually had a nice run. They finished 4th. They played well all weekend. And then
K&P, is that somebody from around here?
K&P, yeah, they're an E bump from last year.
Okay.
They got Hunter and it's that team.
Oh,
with,
yeah. Okay.
Shannon. Yeah. I think they're called Soul Bros now. Sorry, Soul Bros.
Okay. I don't know why that slipped my mind. So, okay. They put up some runs too, 33, 22, 32. Oh, man, that's a heartbreaker. Lost 33-32. What else did they do? Soul Bros. Come on. Where you guys at? Oh, there they are. Okay. They beat JB3. And then they beat FOE. And then they lost to Buffet Boys, who ended up winning another tournament.
Buffet Boys are for real, man.
They're good?
They looked really good.
Out of Louisville?
Yes.
Offense, defense, all of it?
Everything. I don't think they've lost a game all year. They won. They won the Bash, and then they come back this weekend, and I think there's another 5 wins this weekend. I know they run with a lot of teams.
They're not Amish, are they?
No, surprisingly. Not only Amish teams did that.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, they look good, man. They look in mid-season form already. So it'll be interesting. I mean, obviously they're not going to be able to keep it up and not lose a game all year, but I think they're definitely going to be top 1 or 2 teams every weekend.
Nice. So do you think they're a C caliber team?
I mean, in the cold weather, everybody's a C caliber team with home runs. But time will tell. When we get into May, June, July, we'll see if the ball keeps flying and things like that. But they're never going to be a pushover in any division they play in. So.
Gotcha. Steve, is that from the Bash or is that from last weekend? Do you know? I don't know what he's talking about. Okay.
So Steve's living 2 weeks prior to this.
Could be. He's still in the after party.
Right. Doing them extracurriculars I was talking about.
Oh, he's talking bash from a couple weeks ago. Yeah, congrats, Steve. That was a good run. You guys got a good team this year. Is there anything else? How's your team coming along? Is it you guys got your lineups figured out? Who's pitching most of the time? Is it mostly you, or how's it all working out?
To be honest with you, man, I haven't pitched at all. Tony Moser and Corey Burton are doing a great job pitching, and it's
Yeah.
nice. And just sit in the dugout with the heater on me and just come in and hit, man. So
Oh, you're just hitting?
yeah, just hitting and catching every once in a while.
Oh, look at that.
I
You
know.
got the good life.
I'm a little disappointed, man. I don't get. I usually get a runner, but there are a couple times and I feel like, listen, I'm the old guy here. What's going on? And I'm running around the bases, and I don't like that.
So
Start hitting home runs or
what is going on with that?
I don't know. They got Moser gets runners and Corey gets runners. I got to have a talk. I need to sign a new contract or something.
Yeah, I don't know who's in charge over there. We gotta say something.
So Greg Bennett's doing a good job running the team, and then we just Cowboy is coming along. He's going to help him.
Oh, the EAP Cowboy?
Yep, Rob Schlimmer's coming back.
Okay.
So
That's good.
He'll be a good mentor for them young kids. He knows a lot about the game, so it should be interesting.
That will be good. You guys got all the defense and all that figured out too, or you got?
So yeah, we've got a lot of guys we can rotate in and out position wise. When everybody's there, it's going to be tough to get everybody in the game, especially when everybody's hitting like they are now. So Greg's got he's got a challenge on his plate to figure out the best combo, and hopefully these kids are mature enough to know that you're not going to be buried on the bench, but if somebody's hot that weekend, that you may have a different role coming in to pinch hit, things like that. And so far they've been great, and I think it's going to continue. But yeah, we never gave up. I think we were down in that last game we lost. I think we were down 9 with 2 outs in the 7th, and I think we scored 7 runs with 2 outs. Had a chance to. I think we had a tying run on base. So we never gave up. We could have easily rolled over and died when we got 2 outs, and the next 6 guys come up and get hits. It was fun to watch.
There's Chuck Kenny. I guess Cowboys doing a 35 lower for him too.
Got big shoes to fill.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, the hot hand's a big thing. It's something I do too. So like Doug pitching all weekend. That wasn't the plan, but that's how it worked out. I just kind of who's ever hot, I ride, and hopefully, again, like you're saying, hopefully everybody understands that. If it's not your weekend, we'll try again next weekend. But it's kind of hard for some guys to swallow.
Yeah, I mean, when you've never been in that, you've never been in that situation where you're always used to playing because you're on a team with 10 or 11 guys and you show up to the park and can do whatever you want. It's a little different, but at the same time, you also don't want to put pressure on guys like, hey man, you better perform or you're not gonna play. That aspect of it kind of stinks too because you don't want to put added pressure on young kids.
Yep.
But
or old men.
Well, that's true.
So yeah, it's tough, but you just keep giving people opportunities, all you can do, and then things tend to sort themselves out.
Yeah, I mean that's a tight knit group. They've been together for a couple of years now. They're all buddies. They all go out. So
how's my guy Austin hitting? Is he hitting all right?
He actually played really well this weekend. He hit it well. He's learning, man. He's going to be really good.
Good.
Defense is always solid. I think he pulled the ball a couple times this weekend. So
is that new?
That's a new thing. I've been told him all weekend for the bash, said, dude, just pull the ball once because everything was just a fly ball in right center gap. Just go up there and pull the ball. And he did it a couple times. He smoked the pitcher once. I've never seen him do that before, and he blistered it right by his face. So, yeah, he's adding a new dimension to his game.
There you go.
He's protecting our pitcher.
Attaboy. All righty. Is there anything else you want to cover before we take off here?
No, I don't. I mean, we don't have anything big coming up this weekend, do we? I think everybody's taking a weekend off. There's some fundraising tournaments, I think.
Yeah, we're off this weekend. I might wander out somewhere. We'll see.
Gotcha. And then next week, I think there's an event at MAB.
You know the cash thing?
Yeah.
Yep. Sounds right.
So hopefully the brackets will be out before we get on Wednesday, and we can go over that bracket. Are you guys playing in that?
We are not.
So you're off for 2 weeks?
Off for 2 weeks.
Uh-oh. Yeah, if anybody wants to shoot us a schedule on what's going on this weekend and recap it, we can do that for next week, and then we'll go from there. And if you'd like to be a guest on here, do not hesitate to reach out.
Yep. Always could use some more people. All right. Thanks, Rhino. Thanks,
All right,
everybody.
guys. Take it easy.
See ya.